As a group, we decided that Snapchat was our most favorite medium.
Snapchat was the favorite medium for me personally, and also this was a common theme between the rest of our group.
Our group's favorite medium is Snapchat.
Our group's most used social media is Snapchat.
My favorite medium is Snapchat.
Snapchat is an extremely popular app that debuted in 2011. According to a statistic ran by Smart Insights, the app has over 210 daily active users as of 2020. This makes Snapchat the second most used app worldwide.
Snapchat was found to be super popular in our group for a lot of reasons. I think one of the big ones was just the interactions that you can get through it. They're pretty genuine and you can get them in a way that's really unique, not like texting or other like direct messaging apps, because you send pictures and videos.
It allows us to almost be a creator in a sense, like we learned, I think in week 2 or 3 lectures of like being our own content creators, and like we learned in week 8 lecture with the idea of producage and like breaking that wall between the audience and the creator. It allows everyone to be an audience and everyone to be a creator, so that everyone's kind of on a neutral level and there's no like higher influence on Snapchat.
This is our favorite app as well as the world's favorite app for many reasons. One reason is that it allows for a unique way of communication and a constant flow of communication among family and friends.
Especially during this pandemic, it has been hard to see people and connect with people, and through Snapchat, I was at least able to see most people in my life's faces while texting, and for me, I thought of it as like a text form of FaceTime, if that makes sense.
We use it daily. It's so easy to use and so simple, and we all use it to talk to people who aren't with us like face to face.
Especially in the past few weeks, my usage of Snapchat has gone up a lot, being home from school and having that way to like talk to all my friends that I've made at the University of Oregon, even though they're on other sides of the country, and I can still see their face every day.
Like the article, the 10 most ways the internet has transformed our lives, social media has definitely transformed our lives, especially like our age students, because we're in such a media-driven world. So Snapchat definitely plays a role in that, and our lives would be a lot different if we didn't have it, because texting doesn't give us that face-to-face interaction.
Another aspect that is important about Snapchat that we all like, there's this thing called stories, which is where you post like pictures of what you're doing that day or like in the moment, whatever, and people can like see what you're doing and just like keep up with you.
It's a fun, like goofy way to talk with friends, and it's new and fresh and always exciting. They keep it pretty up to date, always putting new filters and new public articles, and just allow it to be an easy form of entertainment and connection.
Number 2, it allows us to get informed on news in a unique and new way. Number 3, it also bodes as a form of entertainment for its users by having things like public stories and shows.
And overall, Snapchat has just made the world like closer together, and it's so much easier to communicate with all of our friends and even family members.
I have found in my experience, it's widely used among different ages, different genders, different races. I found it to be an easy way after going to the U of O and meeting a lot of new people from different backgrounds. I found that it was a very universally used thing, and people would always come up and be like, "What's your Snapchat?" And that was just like a thing. Like, it wasn't a question as to who would have it. It was pretty widely known that most people did use it.
Although we all agree that our most used social media is Snapchat, there are some noticeable differences in our social media usage as a group. For example, Max, the only male in our group, uses ESPN for his sports news and sports updates. Whereas girls, the females in our group, use things such as Pinterest and shopping apps for clothes, makeup, etc.
A lot of us spend a lot of time on TikTok, but some of us, and that's like really popular for people in our age group, but some of us actually don't use it, which is kind of a strange occurrence more, or like an outlier. For like music streaming apps, most of us use Spotify, but Hannah uses Apple Music, and then Erica doesn't use YouTube, and a lot of us spend a lot of hours on YouTube, so that's a difference that we've seen.
Overall, I think that the main apps that we found ourselves very active on, Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, Hulu and Netflix, and YouTube, are all very versatile to all different age ranges as well as gender ranges, and we all were active on those.
If I had the opportunity to, I would promote more censorship towards both sensitivity to different people groups, as well as sensitivity to fake news. I know that some of their articles, as for Daily Mail and BuzzFeed and stuff like that, it doesn't always promote true news, but interesting news. So as for me, I've learned to just use it as entertainment only, and even if I read those articles, I know take it with a grain of salt, of course. So as for people that don't realize that and maybe walking around believing it, I think it can promote ignorance as well as, in a sense, some form of hatred.
Or they also have some filters that are like culturally appropriating different cultures. Like the anime filter, I know has some backlash. I got this from an article from PBS that say critics see Snapchat as having no filter on racial stereotypes. Some examples they used were that anime filter. There's also the filter that changes someone to a boy or a girl, which can almost lead to the argument of there being misgendering someone, and like if someone is not identifying as female or male, there's no option for that.
With such a large amount of users, there are a lot of dangers and weaknesses that can come with the platform. A statistic by Oberlo states that in the US, more than half of internet users ages 15 to 25 use Snapchat. This can pose a weakness for the platform. Users tend to be of the younger audience, which makes the target market of the app unpredictable. Also, since an image or a message is technically deleted right after being viewed, inappropriate messages can be sent among these young people.
While one of the things that many people admire about Snapchat is the fact that these messages that are being sent are disappearing within seconds, and these stories that are being posted are disappearing within hours. So things are only really up for a limited amount of time. This can result in cyberbullying and a lot of other negative results. For instance, if someone is putting something negative onto the platform, it's hard to hold these people accountable for their actions, because in some instances, these messages may go away before you have the chance to kind of capture that or hold that person accountable. So it does become an outlet for cyberbullying and a lot of hatred being spread.